So we have here, what things should I definitely not do at an interview?
I think the two things we've already mentioned are good things to try and avoid doing. So the sort of, just kind of brainless, repeated asserting of the same thing without listening to what the interviewers are saying. I'd avoid doing that if possible. And I'd avoid just constantly giving way to every single thing the interviewers say in almost like an overly deferential manner. Oh, of course you're right. I agree. Because again, as I said, that doesn't really involve any thinking. So I'd avoid those things. I'd avoid trying to sort of take charge of the interview occasionally, not too frequently, but occasionally some interviewees start sort of asking the interviewers questions and trying to sort of take control of it. I kind of get why that might seem to be a good strategy, but it's a strategy that will be doomed to failure because the interviewers are usually very experienced and they'll just sort of take control of the interview again. So don't try and do anything like that. I think that's usually unhelpful.
That sounds like a waste of time.
Pretty much, yeah. And the interviewers will guide you through the interview and let them do that. And that's how it's supposed to work. That's how the dynamic is supposed to work. But I think outside of those things, I don't think there are any, big things that you shouldn't do. Maybe try not to swear too much. That's probably good advice in the interview. So,
I mean, if swearing is how one communicates, we should be open to it.
Yeah, within limits. Limits. I mean, I wouldn't swear at the interviewers. Maybe that might be too far. But I think there's very little that's like 100% off limits in an interview.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. I guess the thing about trying to take control of the interview and asking the interviewer questions, I guess it really depends on where the intentions are coming from. Because I've always been for asking questions for clarification.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine, of course. Yeah, just saying, but sorry, I didn't understand that. Can you explain it again? That's absolutely fine.
And you can't, questions of clarification actually really show everything that they have understood, and they're saying specifically that this one thing that they haven't understood, which is why they're asking. So it's a really good way of showing the interviewer where you're at and what kind of things you have understood. There are insightful questions that you can show that you're having. Exactly.
Whereas the sorts of questions that sometimes you're asked as an interviewer that can be just a bit annoying. If I've asked some, I don't know, subtle and intricate question about some aspect of quantum dynamics because the person's interested in quantum dynamics, if they then say, oh, I don't know, what do you think? It's like, well, I'm more interested in what you think. That's what we're doing here. So, that's not really a question for clarification. That's just I don't really know what to say. And so you throw it back on the interviewer. They'll just very gently throw it back on you. Yeah. So you won't be able to avoid attempting some kind of answer.
Yeah, exactly. If it comes from a place like that, then I mean the interviews are short. You want to make the most of them.
Yep.
You don't want to waste any time.
Exactly.
In these kind of power battles, I guess.
Yep.